evening, Sanum citizens. Over the past few years, the state of Sandus has pioneered a system of charity taxes, in which Sanum citizens have been active participants in social issues and in a range of social activist organizations and movements by which they volunteered or donated any sort of time or labor or money to these causes. The importance of these charity taxes, as we call them, is one to reflect the Sandom cultural importance on compassion. Our national philosophy is centered around the belief that all people, regardless of their race, ethnicity, religion, sex, gender, sexual orientation, religion, class, age, etc., that all people, regardless of these distinctions, suffer. And so it has been the manifestation of the compassion of the San people by which we have always endeavored to perform and exercise these charity taxes. This system is not changing. I have introduced this specific speech with this fact because it reflects the general compassion of the state of Sandus. These charity taxes are not going away. In fact, they perhaps may be strengthened in the future by asking for Socialivo citizens to perform them in exchange for voting rights. This is an arrangement that has been currently made with the Kumanoese government, who represent the first Socialiva nation. However, it reflects the overall social activist identity of the state of Sandus. We are a very socially active micronation. We are active in social issues throughout the world. We have numerous holidays dedicated to social causes, and we have many different policies in place in the state of Sandus in order to benefit other social causes. Of course, we have days of recognition. We most recently just celebrated our first commemoration, pardon me, not celebrated, we just commemorated our first Transgender Day of Remembrance. This goes without saying that the state of Sandus is very active in social issues. To further our progress and our activity that we've made in relation to these social issues, in relation to acting upon these social problems, it has come under my attention that as Sanum citizens, we are a very diverse people, but we are not diverse enough. We do not give enough representation to certain social issues, and we can be benefited if we were to extend representation to these social issues, to these social problems, and to communities which face them. That is why, over the past month and a half or so, the Office of the Sôgmô has considered extending an office to citizens and non-citizens alike, by which they can represent social issues important to them. In other words, this system will be to select, to appoint representatives to the Office of the Sôgmô, to the Central People's Government of the State of Sandus, members of minority groups, members of social communities in which they have social issues and social problems which are ever important to our multicultural society and to a socialist society such as the nation-state of Sandus. This specific system is to be called the Liaison System, and it's named after this because each individual who is appointed to represent a certain community, to represent a certain issue, will be a liaison to the office of the Sôgmô, in which they will be an important part, an important member of the state of Sandus. Of course, these can be citizens and non-citizens alike, and this can even be micronationalists and non-micronationalists alike. We have no preference. We have no concern for whether or not people are involved in the state of Sandus. What we are truly looking for are members of these social categories who can represent social issues facing these minorities, facing these communities, to the office of the Sôgmô. In such a way, these liaisons will be able to help the office of the Sôgmô construct certain policies on how to resolve these issues, what Sandus's part can be in resolving these issues, what can we do as a micronation in resolving them. So these liaisons play a very important role, or will play a very important role, in how Sandus operates concerning social problems and social communities. At the moment, no liaisons have been charged. There are no chargés d'affaires. But at the moment, we are currently seeking out and creating categories and creating offices for which people who are interested in representing their community to the state of Sandus can do so. We are currently looking at the 5 main categories concerning areas of discrimination. We are concerned with race and ethnicity. We are concerned with religion, with class, community, nationality, sex, sexuality, gender, many different things, occupations. Honestly, the list can be very large, and it's likely that the number of liaisons that we have will actually outnumber the amount of citizens that we have. But that is a good thing, we believe, because it shows that even though we are a small nation, the state of Sandus is active on the world stage. It's active in its locality, in its community, and nonetheless, it is active in social issues and social problems. Perhaps in the future, this liaison program can come to include other non-social problems. For instance, issues relating to technology, to computer science. We will need a liaison, for instance, if we are to establish a website. We will need a liaison most likely for economic and ecological sustainability. And there are just so many different categories, and it wouldn't be prudent to enumerate them all right now. And of course, these offices and these positions can be added later, and we can appoint multiple liaisons, in fact. But it is within our philosophy that we should appoint some people, some non-micronationalists, some non-citizens who can represent these issues to the state of Sandus in general. Therefore, in the next few weeks, the Office of the Sôgmô will take active part in drafting somewhat a law and drafting articles in which we lay out these offices, we lay out these positions, what communities and issues we are targeting, and it will be the duty of the Office of the Sôgmô to fill these liaisons. We recommend any person who is interested to contact the Office of the Sôgmô at kremlumsandus at gmail.com. That is KREMLUMSANDUS at gmail.com. Period. COM. Nonetheless, I would like to wish all citizens a happy Brumalia and a happy Funalia, as it is now, and we look forward to the rest of the winter.